Hey there, I'm Mark, in affiliation with Spectrum Pulse, and we got another slow week, but at least there's Beyonce discourse. So it's Billboard BREAKDOwn. I don't remember. So I guess this is where the Christmas glut fully kicks in and the charts nearly grind to a halt. Well, at least for now. I've got a theory that both Nicki Minaj and Tate McRae will have more album impact next week, more than we might expect, although the question of how much is a little bit open-ended given the uphill battle against holiday music. But hey, it'll at least be a little bit more interesting, right? Certainly more so than our top 10, where for another week, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee has the top spot at number 1. Chalk it up to great streaming and a shockingly good sales week, although with the standard holiday radio rotation, that probably helps too. And if you want to run through our next 3 songs, they're all effectively in the order delineated on how well they're streaming right now. All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey is at number 2. I'm really surprised the push has not manifested here to get it to number 1. Jingle Bell Rock by Bobby Helms at number 3, and Last Christmas by Wham at number 4. Then we got Lovin' on Me by Jack Harlow at number 5, holding as the biggest non-holiday streamer right now by a pretty significant margin, and with the radio upswing continuing, I'm not really surprised it's held up this high. Then we have right behind him, A Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives at number 6. See streaming position again, followed by Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift, somehow still holding up at number 7, which is what happens when your radio is now in free fall, but you still got the top position on the radio. Then we have It's the Most Wonderful Time by Andy Williams up to number 8. Again, thank the streaming for this. And finally, our last 2 non-holiday songs somehow holding on, with Snooze by SZA at number 9, where the streaming position is compensating for the airplay gap even as it's fading, and Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat at number 10, which actually has the good radio position, but considerably worse streaming, at least as of now. Now this takes us neatly to our losers and our dropouts, and now the holidays that they've set in, at least for now there's not going to be that many of either. The big and welcome story that comes with the exit is Try That in a Small Town by Jason Aldean is gone, but I'm also not really going to complain that much that Too Much by Jungkook, Kid Laroi, and Central C is gone too. And the losers list is pretty limited as well. Jungkook also saw a loss for 3D with Jack Harlow off the return to 92, as did It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas by Perry Como down to 48. Apparently people in the absence of good taste prefer the Michael Bublé version. Distressing. And the last 2, Can't Have Mine by Dylan Scott, he's seeing his run stall out at 81, and Now That We Don't Talk by Taylor Swift, it's continuing its descent at 84. Not surprising, given that the 1989 album bomb is fading away. Now, our returns and gains list is a little strange. In the former category, I get Santa Baby by Eartha Kitt returning at 43, as well as Little Saint Nick by the Beach Boys to a less extent, but I'm kinda shocked to see Soap City Do It by 310 Baby sneak back at 98. But the better stories, they come in our gains. Yes, Santa Claus is Coming into Town by the Jackson 5 saw a nice boost to 34, but Since You're Losing Me by Taylor Swift did not really get a full and proper tracking week last time. She saw a big spike up to 27. Awesome! But again, the real pleasant surprise came with Surround Sound by JID featuring 21 Savage and Baby Tate, which is still continuing its surge up to 64. Imagine if the holiday music was not there and just how much bigger this song would be with this sort of momentum. Couldn't that be awesome or something? Well, anyway, in the spirit of the holidays, we only have 4 new entries here, a couple more than last week, even if the charts as a whole feel a little slower overall. So, okay. Let's get this started with number 100, Feather by Sabrina Carpenter. You know, it's probably not a good sign that I heard about the controversy around the use of the church in the music video before I actually heard this song. I mean, it kind of seems par for the course with Sabrina Carpenter, but it was at least enough to get this to chart properly. Hopefully it'd be better than Nonsense was, because I still really don't like that song. And you know what? It is, but man, I was not looking for a discount Dua Lipa song by someone who does not have the vocal presence or pipes to really back up that pulsating new disco groove in the keyboard flutters. It does not help matters that the production really does not have the dynamics or swell to really sell any opulence or grander flair. I'm chalking that up to John Ryan. I've never been impressed with his work. But while Sabrina Carpenter brings a decent bit of energy and theatricality, she just can't really command this sort of bouncy kiss-off that feels long overdue. I was actually a little bit surprised how much I like the lyrics, though. Carpenter's conversational style can kind of overplay the quirky, hashtag relatable vibes, but for as breezy as this song is, they work a little bit better for the smaller scale and stakes, even if some of the jittery vocal runs can really test my patience. So overall, okay, I'll call it fine. I'm not gonna seek it out. Number 93, Mmhmm by BigXthaPlug.
To hang with the crews, make a play and get high off that Zaza. I say R.I.P. Kobe, a nigga so fly when I ball out, fuck around skydive. So much chicken on me, could've went by the Williams or Rudy's, a big ass Popeye.
So funnily enough, I actually did recognize BigXthaPlug. He was on that Mexican OTs project earlier this year. Apparently he's got some sort of connection with Morgan Wallen that actually makes a bit too much sense. Why not capitalize on one of the biggest streaming acts right now if he's reaching out? And if this is leading to more Texas rap creeping back onto the Hot 100, I was kind of game, and then I heard that sample of the whispers and the beat goes on, an instantly recognizable melody for me from the late 70s, and my heart just sank. Come on, man, not like this. It's kind of a shame because that underlying bass lick, it builds some thicker presence against the brittle percussion. It's not bad, and BigXthaPlug can be pretty funny alongside all the pretty traditional flexing. I love how he was annoyed with someone for just leaving his dog in the rain, or how calling some haters po-po, he then conflates them with being irrelevant. I mean, those are some pithy lines. I just wish there was more to this beyond that. It's no Johnny Dang for how colorful and ridiculous that could be. So yeah, again, it's okay. There's more to like, but I want to like it more. Number 79, Everywhere, Everything by Noah Kahan featuring Gracie Abrams.
Till our fingers decompose. Keep my hand in yours.
Alright, I'm not going to reiterate my theory that Noah Kahan is trying to recruit as many indie acts as he can to bolster his critical perception. Now getting Gracie Abrams. Except, wait a minute, she's not really indie at all. She's the daughter of J.J. Abrams, and she had her debut album on Interscope this year, produced by Aaron Dessner, and I heard no buzz for it. Whatever. This is another remix of a song from Styx Season, and it was one I neither liked nor disliked. The breezy acoustics, they build to a larger climax, but this also uses some pretty macabre detail to describe how his love will persist after death as the world collapses around them, and Noah Kahan is just too milquetoast of a singer to sell that. He's not Hosier. And Gracie Abrams adds little, if anything, to the song. It's actually a little startling how little unique personality she shows here, with a lot of whispered vocals very obviously borrowing from Billie Eilish's playbook. Again, it's not so much bad as it is utterly forgettable. I'm not going to complain that Noah Kahan is using his newfound platform to elevate better artists. It's led to some good music, but if this is where he's going to head next, yeah. Not interested. And finally, number 57, My House by Beyonce.
Cash out this pain, call around. Then take me to Tiffany, I want 44 carats on my things.
You know, it is so nice that Beyonce is paying tribute to Flo Rida by remaking his late career hit. Not enough Flo Rida appreciation these days. I'm only somewhat kidding with that. But okay, no, apparently this was a surprise release tied to the Renaissance Tour film with additional production and co-writing from The Dream, and oh boy, we happen to get the two lanes of Beyonce that I don't really like. The sloppy club hustler paired with the imperial diva, and at least according to her, they're one and the same. And you know what, I'll give Beyonce this, she's got the energy and intensity here. She sounds damn near vicious all across this song, angrily demanding why her fan base is out of the house, because the only reason they would be is if they're cutting down someone who is hating on her, followed by shouts of, "Get the fuck up out my house." So who are you talking to here, bae? But really, love is gonna heal us all through a Beyonce tour and all of her flexing. And if you can't tell by now, this is not remotely working for me. It's largely an issue of construction. The song is two fragments inelegantly slammed together, with the first part having this pulsating bass, blaring synths, and marching band horns trying to support the percussion that's way stiffer than it should be. And then it drops into this low, pulsating bass synth groove with a lot of oddly filmy percussion that might flow better whatever, but the hook is all in a major key and none of the build-up flatters it. It's so angry and disjointed that doesn't match with Beyonce's culmination, and that there's no transition between the parts. But the most revealing line for me, it's on the second bridge with the flip of RuPaul's line, "If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else?" What Beyonce says is, "I will always love you, but I'll never expect you to love me when you don't love yourself." Reframing the aspirational statement as a condescending serve for Beyonce's ego, because how could someone not love her? And then attempting to end on how love through Beyonce's tour will heal the world. Look, as great as I've heard the Renaissance tour is, I don't buy it. In other words, I don't think this is good at all. I understand that my taste and takes on Beyonce, they do not align with the norm, but you know what? I don't care. This isn't good. Skip it. And yeah, you know what? Also, it's getting the worst of the week. With the best, yeah, you know what? Let's keep it in Texas and go from Mmhmm by BigXthaPlug. No obvious choice, the sample's overused, but I had more fun with this than frankly everything else here. Next week, Nicki Minaj and Tate McRae. Stay tuned for that, I guess. Until then, I'm Mark. You're watching Billboard Breakdown in affiliation with Spectrum Pulse. And I'll see you next time.